those rubber shells on their helmets to protect against like concussions.
Yeah.
Why don't we wear these in the games then?
Because they don't look
aesthetic.
good. I don't know.
But like,
I know what you mean.
Isn't that the craziest
I've
thing?
thought
It's
about
like, well,
that,
it looks like crap in the. We can't wear those in the game. Anyway.
But the thing is, they also have shell versions of them too. So I have no idea why they don't just want the shell version.
Right.
I guess the thought is that if they do this wear these for like every contact practice, you're limiting the amount of blows to the head. Whereas then Saturday is the only day
where you're taking really hard blows to the head. Yeah.
So I guess like 12 days out of the year instead of 40 or 50 is better. I don't know how else to explain that, but yeah, I've thought of that too before.
I'm sure they're hopeful too with teaching better technique where you're not lowering your head or spearing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. But like it's like, oh, this solution exists to prevent the problem.
Right.
It's like you wear your seatbelt 6 days out of 7, but not the one where you're driving like.
Or you're driving in the NASCAR race.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, that is true. All right, so key losses here. I'm going to count Kevon Lee, nice veteran presence who started the first few games. I think he only ended the year with 100 yards. The key returners, obviously, Nick Singleton, over 1,000 yards rushing last year with 12 TDs. Katron Allen, 867 with 10 TDs. Also had, I think, close to 200 receiving yards last year. Newcomers. Big one here, Trey Potts from Williamsport coming back home after spending 4 years in Minnesota. Was a fill-in starter the last couple of years when Mohamed Ibrahim had some injury problems. Cam Wallace, a 3-star recruit, a guy they got at the end of the cycle last year, kind of flew under the radar, then showed up in December, kind of got some offers. They landed him. London Montgomery, Scranton Prep guy. 4-star, but tore his ACL last August before his senior year started. So he's kind of just getting back into things right now. I'm not expecting much from him this season. And I think kind of his injury is a big reason why Trey Potts is on this roster.
I would tend to agree. I think Trey, you look there what you have where you mentioned Kevon Lee leaving and he's a veteran presence and he was. Having Trey Potts come in and kind of fill that role for the younger guys who are very talented but don't quite have the experience in a camp or running a camp or being the leaders of this team, and you probably can't ask them to be the leaders of the room just yet. That's a really good fill-in, not only to overcome the London Montgomery injury, but just to be a veteran presence. And he's got 1,100 yards in his career.
He's not a scrub by any means. Yeah.
But this is the unit that is it's one of the best in the nation, right? As a pair of running backs. And as much as we put pressure on Drew Aller to be amazing this year, these two guys are going to have just as much say in how successful Penn State is as a team.
Absolutely. I mean, these guys are what make Drew's transition hopefully easier and not rely on him to be that all-world quarterback right off the bat. He can kind of ease into that starting expectations and get his feel for being the guy of the team. But, I mean, like you guys said, we got two absolute studs that are going to lead the way. Trey Potts coming in is going to be probably one of the best top 3 third down backs in the country, or number 3 overall backs, however you want to look at it. I mean, this guy is capable of catching out of the backfield. He's going to be phenomenal in pass protection, having 4 years at Minnesota learning that and then coming here. He's a guy that could also fill in on kick returns, so we don't have to throw Singleton and Allen back there all the time. So getting him was huge. I think whether London was healthy or not, I think they're going to look for that veteran presence to come back with Lee leaving, and getting a guy that's from an hour away from State College, wanted the offer and has contributed at Minnesota, now coming back is going to be huge.
Yeah. So just look pretty obvious here. Nick Singleton, I have him at 1A, Katron at 1B. I could have put an or there. It's the same thing.
I'm glad you did this though, right? But this speaks to like, you look at how well these two guys have handled it in the media. I think Katron especially, Singleton gets a little more of the FaceTime,
especially national media.
Yeah, exactly. But like by everything that it seems from the outside, Katron Allen is just a hell of a teammate and as near as talented as Nick Singleton, and they make an excellent duo. So good job by both of them for maturing quickly.
And then obviously Trey Potts at RB3. I actually think I didn't go all the way down to 4 because I just didn't want to make this excessive, but Tank Smith is probably RB4. I think they would like to redshirt Wallace. He's a little skinnier guy. I think they want to get some weight on him. And obviously, I think if they can shy away from putting Montgomery in a game later in the year, unless he's good to go, I think they'll, go that route. So these three scholarship guys, and then Tank Smith, the walk-on, the nephew of defensive backs coach Terry Smith.
I think it'd be interesting, though, depending on how Wallace actually looks, because there has been some reports that he's a little more filled out than was initially expected to be. Depending on what the kick returning unit or punt returning unit looks like.
Yeah, I thought about him there.
That I think if he's that good and we don't have that game changer back there, Franklin's not scared to burn for that if he's someone that could make a difference and he could possibly win a game. I mean, we saw Ohio State in 2017. Saquon took that opening kick, and if it wasn't for a fourth quarter collapse, that's a game we could have won. But I mean, you just see how much special teams plays a factor, and getting that game moment, I could see Franklin throwing back there.
Yeah.
After these first two, though, you do look at this and you're like, oh shit, it's a little bit thin, right? If you don't quite have all the depth. You want both of Nick Singleton and Kaytron Allen to be there all the time. You want Drew Aller to be there all the time. And if any one of those three guys goes down, it dramatically changes how you game plan and what you can do, depending on which one it is, certainly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a difference between them and Ohio State right now. I think Michigan's in a similar boat to Penn State in terms of it's the top two and there's a drop-off. Ohio State, their number 3 back, I'm pretty sure, is Dalian Hayden, who was like a top 150 recruit in his recruiting class. So to them, the drop-off is not as significant as it is at Michigan and Penn State. And, they recruit top 3 in the country most years, and that is an example of that. All right, so I think we're done with this group, but I will say we'll get into the position groups later, but this is the group we were the highest on. Okay.